Ambition is a fantastic attribute on Football Manager, one of those hidden attributes that we sometimes don't pay attention to. We've seen on the channel before that ambition was pretty crucial to the development of players. And only when the player's ambition got up to a certain level did he really start kicking on. But what if the entire squad was ambitious, or the entire squad was unambitious, and there was no one to feed off to get that ambition? That's the question that nobody's asking, but like an obnoxious bellend, here I am with the answers. Let's get into it. Yeah, Vanarama National League, Altrincham, York. There's your two teams. Altrincham are the ambitious ones. 80 current ability for the entire squad, 185 potential, and the ambition is 20. York, on the other hand, same thing. 80 current ability, 185 potential ability, 1 ambition. The hidden attributes are identical, apart from the ambitious trait. They are, let's have a look at unambitious centre-back. This is the breakdown. 10 adaptability, 10 loyalty, 12 for pressure, 16 professionalism, sportsmanship 10, 15 temperament, controversy 10, 15 for consistency, dirtiness and important matches, 1 for injury proneness, and 14 for versatility. Yeah, they're all 6'1", and yeah, we've just got 2 squads, essentially, that are going to be potentially rising through the leagues and rising in ability. But who will reign supreme through this experiment? Who will have more players capped by England? And will ambition cease to be an issue? Will York pull themselves together as a squad and start to get a bit more ambition and overtake Altrincham? Or will Altrincham be the team that goes on to Premier League glory? 185 current ability, 185 potential ability. If they get there, that's Champions League winning team mentality. They're world-class players at 185, so they should do it. York have the potential to do it as well. So we're just going to see how important ambition is to player development for an entire squad. Before we do that, though, we're going to look at the season preview, and as you can see, Altrincham and York both expected to be just outside the playoff / mid-table. York a few odds fractions worse off. Can you tell I'm not a betting man? So, yeah, York meant to finish 11th, according to Media Dream 11, some media predictions, and Altrincham in 8th. Is that taking into consideration the ambition hidden attribute, or is it just meh? I think it's just a little bit meh. That's the technical term for it anyway. So, we're going to go through the first year, and just to see how they got on in the Vanarama National League, and what sort of happened. Let's go. Well, they're both still in there, aren't they? They're both still in the Vanarama National League. And as you can see, well. York finished in 6th. Not counting Wrexham went up. Get that out of the way. York in 6th on 75 points. Altrincham, 58 points. There's worlds apart between them. Dean Keats has done a fantastic job with York. Ambition, all still at 1. Hasn't moved a muscle. Lots of players getting into the 90s. 2 of them up on 95. The heart of the team. But, as you see here, Altrincham have got 7 players over 100. 3 of them central midfielders. What tactic are they playing? There you go. They've got 7 players over 100, loads over 90, and then some of them in the high 80s. So ambition has really kicked them on, but it's not done the business for them in terms of finishing higher up the league. That being said, it is a little bit early to be casting aspersions and judgments on what's going on. I believe that now you've got this, and they're gelling as a team, and they're going to be a bit more cohesive. I'm going to say this next season, Altrincham will finish higher than York, and I would say Altrincham are going to be promoted before York. If they're at the same time, they'll elevate themselves to a higher division before York will. That's a prediction for this video. I've not looked forward. None of them might ever get promoted. They might just stop improving at this point. Well, we don't know. I mean, if that happens, I'll tell you now, if you're watching this, that hasn't happened because I'd have sacked the experiment off. So there you go. Go another year anyway. I'm waffling. Oh dear. Well, I told you I'm not a gambling man, and that's why. Because my predictions are absolutely abysmal. York, 8 points clear of Altrincham this time around. They've closed the gap, but York have gone up as champions, and they've got a lot of players over 100. No one over 110. A lot of players over 100. How many? 14. A couple over 19 and the rest in the 80s. So clearly these players are not playing at all. Ambition still at 1. They're current champions of the Vanarama National League. Altrincham, on the other hand, Paul Tisdale has come in for the sacked Phil Parkinson. Poor Phil Parkinson. He's there for 5 years and you got rid of him unceremoniously. He had a new squad he was trying to bed together. Should have stuck with him. Looking at the squad then, and as you can see, I mean, they didn't have anyone over 110, York. 8 for Altrincham over 110. 9 more over 100. And then two in the 90s, as we saw. Even, look at that, 117 for the ambitious goalkeeper. Capped under 20 level as well. Apologies, I just realised, like, I assume most of you have been here before to these experiments and you know what's going down. The reason this says transfer, I've got them all joining a Saudi Arabian team in 2045 for a nice little lump sum of money. So that means they will never leave the club, so they'll be here all the way through. How do I stop them bringing players in, I hear you ask? Transfer embargo. Transfer ban until 2044. So the last season, I allow them to use some of the funds that they've made on the way up to the Premier League, if they get to the Premier League, and some of their prize money to start bringing in a couple of players. So they've got a few players already there, so they're not rebuilding an entire squad from the money that they get in for the perfect players. Because we do like to sim on a few years just to see how everyone's getting on post upheaval of all the players leaving. So anyway, they're both in League Two. Speaking of League Two, if we look at the season preview, Altrincham are expected to finish first. York expected to finish third, so that'll be promotion for both of them. There's 3 go up automatically out of League Two, and we've got a few players from Altrincham who are in the Media Dream 11. Just the one from York and his unambitious winger 3. There you go. Well, considering we've just gone into League Two, and I think they might both go up, shall we just go another 1 year? I don't know who I'm asking. It's hypothetical. I make the decisions around here, and I'm going to say yes. 2025, here we come. Well, here we go. So finally, I'm right. Finally, I am right. Altrincham have gone up as champions. York did not. Oh, they missed out by 3 points on automatic promotion. Wrexham going up as well. They missed out by 3 points, and then they lost in the playoffs to Tranmere, who were 13 points further back from them. So York City, their schedule states they won the last 2, but they drew 2 and lost 1 the previous 3. That's where they threw things away, and they got knocked out on penalties to Tranmere. Sad times for them. So while we're here, we'll have a quick look in on York. 2 in the 120s, quite a few in the teens, a couple in the hundreds, and 1 in the 90s, and the rest in the 80s. Altrincham then, Paul Tisdale having a lovely old time of it. Quite a few in the 120s, 1 in the 130s. Ambitious goalkeeper is on international duty with the England under-21s. 5 under-21 caps from League 2. Now in League 1, some of these players might start appearing. They're only 18, and I think at this point it's a formality. They're going to get to the 185. Altrincham are going to be Champions League winners by the end of this experiment. Can York do it as well? That is the question. So in terms of League 1, the season preview, well, they think they're going to go straight up. So it's going to be back-to-back promotions. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players in the Media Dream 11 for Altrincham, which is the most of any club, I believe. Huddersfield have got 1, Birmingham have got 1, McDonald's and Preston have both got 1, and now York are 91-1 on. And look at that. Only Rodney, Caden Rodney at right back, who's on loan from Crystal Palace, is the player that's got in the... Luke Southwood has stuck himself in as well. So we're expecting York to go up this season, and Altrincham as well. So now Altrincham have got themselves out of there. They've gone up ahead of York like I thought they would do. I think they're going to just follow each other up because they're improving at a rate faster than everyone else is in the league. So again, seems like it's going to be a long experiment. We're going to go through 1 year to 2026. And York did it. Of course they did. There you go. 90 points. They were the champions. They absolutely walked the league. Speaking of looking at the players, loads in the 120s. No one has got into the 130s though. And someone was in the 130s for Altrincham last time. The season further on, no one in the 130s for York. The golfing class for the squads is massive. As we see, we're looking at League 2. We're looking at League 1. Altrincham nowhere to be seen. Past winners, Altrincham. We'll have a quick look here at the season preview. York are now at 15-8 on. Loads of players in the Media Dream 11. In terms of the championship then, in terms of the last season, yeah, they won it by 6 points. Altrincham did. Fantastic. We'll have a look at the championship. Wow, ambitious goalkeeper. 146. He's flying up. Loads in the 130s. They're so much better, aren't they? They're so much better than York. And I think what we're going to do now is I'm going to jump forward 3 years to get them to try and be in the Premier League together. It might be there in 2. I don't think York are going to go up from the Championship at the first time of asking. That's the only thing. I want them in the same division. Season preview. Well, actually, Altrincham aren't stated to go up here. 9-2. They are 4th in the media prediction. So they've got a chance, but only 1 player is in the 2 players, are in the Media Dream 11. That being said, I am still going to jump through 3 years because otherwise this experiment is going to get out of hand, ladies and gentlemen. Well, so here we go. We're here in 2029, but we've come back to the 26-27 season where York did go up at the first time of asking from League 1, finishing 3rd. Now, we're not going to go and look at the teams just yet. We're going to go and look at the players in a moment or two. So going into the Championship, 26-27, Altrincham got promoted. They did get promoted at the first time of asking. Fair play to them. Then York finished 7th in the Championship the following season. And then Altrincham and York have gone up together. They've gone up together. So Altrincham came back down, but they've gone straight back up. 105 points. Oh, bless them. So they came down. Oh, 27 points, to be fair. I thought maybe it was a bit of a goal difference, maybe a last day bit of drama. No, they just went down. 6 points, 7 points, and a worse goal difference. So, yeah. Right, so season preview for the Premier League then. York, bottom. Ilian Meslier, currently the Media Dream 11 best goalkeeper. Turns out that might have been a good signing then for Southampton in that series. York, 1,000 to 1 on to win the Premier League. Probably going to go down. Altrincham, 50 to 1 to win it. 11th expected. So, fair play. Checking on York then. Dean Keats. Old Keatsy lad. Oh, dear. 129s. They've just got stuck at 129s. That seems to be the limit. I don't know what has gone on. That is unfortunate. There we go then. 129 seems to be the limit for this team. Altrincham, on the other hand, look at this, 150s. They've got players down here in the 90s, 100s and that, but they've got a lot of players here in the 150s, one in the 140s. So they're doing really well. And ambitious winger 3 has actually been capped for England, scoring a goal. So Paul Tisdale has still got his job. He got relegated from the Premier League, but they said, you know what, Paul, you've done brilliantly to get us here. Keep your job. And he kept his job. The problem we've got now is with York plateauing at 129, I'm expecting them to just sort of yo-yo up and down and be out of the league, really, out of the Premier League. Altrincham are just going to kick on. So that in mind, we'll skim through 5 more years. So we'll go to 2034. So yeah, here we go. So we've actually come through an extra year to 2035 because then we've got 2040 and 2045. We'll jump back in as well as the end portion. But Altrincham in this season where they were meant to finish about 11th, I think it was, 6th. They finished. Europa League football, fair play to them. York, dead bottom, relegated, 16 points. Following season, Altrincham getting Champions League football, finishing 14th. They've obviously won the Europa League. Didn't cope with York very well. Hopefully they do start to cope a little bit better in the future. York hopefully came up. They did come back up and made a better showing of it. 19th this time though, 21 points. Altrincham getting Europa League football again, finishing 6th. Champions League football for Altrincham the following season, again, this time through the league, finishing 5th, unless they won the Europa League as well. We will check that in a moment. York still in the Championship. Did they come up? They did not. Altrincham getting 3rd in Champions League football. And the most recent season, again, York still not there. Altrincham finishing 2nd by a point. To be fair, Liverpool did draw and lose in their last 2 games, so it made it look a lot closer than it was. Altrincham, though, 5 wins in a row to end the season, nearly sneaking the Premier League trophy. Fantastic stuff. If we look here, York, we've just seen, have just lost the playoff final. They've just lost the playoff final, so that's unfortunate for them. 11th in that season, 6th in that season. So York City, some of their players are already declining. 129 is where they peaked. So if you've got ambition of 1, can't get better than 129, despite the potential ability. Is that what we're taking from this? Is what it is. Altrincham, how many players will be on 185? 6. And another 3 on 184, a 183 and a 182 as well. I'm going to insert column and I'm going to say, do you know what? Sod it. I'm going to put them all on the shortlist. I'm not going to bother with York because there's no need. Caps. Plenty of caps, plenty of goals as well. Look at ambitious striker too, 51 in 48. He has become quite the player indeed. Still quite a few of Altrincham players who haven't got a cap for England. It is what it is. Ambitious striker 2 has won the Golden Boot at one point. Benny Sesko has also won it, who's currently playing for Arsenal. Looking very, very good indeed. A regen called Ivan Castillo for Man United. Again, very good indeed. But we are digressing. Should we have a look at the cups? The Carabao Cup was won by Altrincham in 2033-34. The FA Cup was won by Altrincham in 2032-33. They've come runner-up 3 times, though, so they've been in the final 4 times in the last 7 years. That's pretty good going. But we have seen a potential Europa League win. So should we go and have a look at the Conference League? I'm not expecting anything to happen in the Conference League because I don't think they've been in it. It builds the tension, doesn't it? It builds the tension. And they have won the Europa League, beating Lazio in the 2030-31 season. A 1-0 ambitious centre mid 3 with the goal. Absolute scenes. And in terms of the Champions League, they've lost to Arsenal 3 times in the Champions League. The quarter-final in 31-32. The round of 16 in 33-34. And the quarter-final again in 34-35. That's a bit unlucky, isn't it? Arsenal appear to be the bloody bogey team. But we've got a Europa League, we've got a Carabao Cup, we've got an FA Cup. We've got every league title on the way up, apart from the Vanarama National. We're looking for a Champions League and a Premier League. Don't let me down, Altrincham. And I'm looking here in the Championship, and York, we're 5 years further on, and York have finished 12th. York are 12th, 15th the season before that, 19th the season before that. They did finish 5th, they did finish 9th. Unfortunately, though, they are going to be, the players are declining. Still got a couple at 129, but they're declining massively. They're 33 years old now. The problem we've got with that is, have Altrincham done it? Could Altrincham have done it? Looking at the squad, they've still got a team full of world-class superstars. 180, 170s. Still very good for a team in the twilight of their careers at 33 years old. The last time we were here, we saw them finishing second. Can they go one better? They bloody did straight away. 9 points they won the league by, only losing twice all season to City and Newcastle. 2-0 in both games. 6 teams qualifying for the Champions League, so someone's clearly won a Europa League, maybe. Altrincham then finishing second to United by a point. Ooh, I wonder if that was any last day drama. 20, 36, 37. We're going to go and have a quick look. No, they won the last 5. United actually drew 3, so United nearly threw it away. And then the following season, 4 points they beat Chelsea by, winning the second league title. They won it again, winning by 8 points to United in 38-39. And they've come second to Chelsea in this most recent season. Literally throwing it away. 3 draws and a defeat in the last 5 games. They were top. They were top. I mean, they did sort of backdoor their way into it right near the end, then fell away. They were third a lot more this season than any other position. Third and second. So maybe they didn't deserve it, but I'd say that's a little bit annoying to see. No more Carabao Cups for them. No more FA Cups for them, although they just lost to Leicester in the final. But they have won the Champions League twice. Juventus and Bayern Munich in 36-37 and 38-39. Altrincham have completed the set. They won on penalties against Juventus. And the Club World Championship, they did not win that. Who cares about the Club World Championship? Everyone always says, oh, check the Club World Championship. It's rubbish on this game. They've won on penalties again. So both times they've drawn 1-1 and they've won on penalties. Against a German team this time, which is doubly satisfying. Bayern Munich. So we've got 5 years to go. Let's go to 2045. York are now back in League 2 because their squad is crap. They're all down in the 80s. They've fallen away. They've had to bring themselves back up with some of these players, but they're going to get a lot of money. They're going to get a lot of money very soon. They've actually got a lot of money as it stands. So are they going to do anything with that? Remains to be seen. Sadly, Altrincham have just finished 16th in the league. Of course, their squad... Sorry, I'm speechless. Erling Haaland is in charge. And a crap manager at that. Abysmal manager. The squad is... They're all over the place in terms of ability. Some in the 80s. They've dropped off quite a lot, to be fair. And how have they been doing? The 40-41, they did come second to Chelsea by 5 points. And then 14th, 11th, 17th, just narrowly avoiding the drop. And then 16th. So they've not done great, have they? No more trophies at all to speak of in that time frame. So they've got over 800 million in the bank, and they're all going to be getting a lot of money for all these players. 50 million a player. So we're going to go through now and just see what happened. So Altrincham are here we're in 2062. Sorry guys, we're back in 2062, and you can see Altrincham are there in 4th. Chelsea have been on a bit of a tear recently. Altrincham did win it a few years ago, so if we go and have a look back, Altrincham have come 2nd and 3rd quite a few times. 2 times they've won it, which brings them to a grand total of 5 Premier Division trophies. In terms of managers, Erling Haaland lasted 5 years. He actually won them a Conference League. He won them a Conference League in 48-49. Go on, Erling. They've won the Europa League in 58-59, and then in 60-61, they've won the Champions League. They come run up in the Champions League as well. The question you've got to ask yourself is, where are York City? 13th in League 2. They've got 1.58 million. They've squandered all the money that must have come in for all those players. And like domestic leagues, 45, 46. They went up into League 1. They actually got promoted again. Championship, then back into League 1, now into League 2. So yeah, York have been pretty abysmal. Disappointing. In terms of European trophies though, between 2040 and 2056, England have won the Euros 5 times in a row. Turkey have also won it. But we were looking over here, not full of the ambition. Ambitious centre mid, there you go. He's got 1 goal, but not full of just got a bit of a golden generation. Completely separate. 2 World Cups in a row to begin with as well. One in 42 and another one in 58. Wales coming running up. Norway coming run up to Mexico in 2030. Chile 2034. Yeah, madness. Football of the year then. Anyone win Football of the Year? just have a quick look at that, and that'll be it, really. Ambitious Winger 3 won 3 in a row in the late 30s. Golden Ball. Marco Denker is absolutely walking away with these trophies. Ambitious Winger 3. Ambitious Striker 2 also got himself in on the action with the Golden Ball. Player of the Year. Again, Ambitious Winger 3. That's it then. So ambition did make a huge difference. And as you saw, one ambition meant the players did not improve past 129. So it is what it is. I hope you've enjoyed it. I had quite a good time making this. Would have been nice if York had challenged a little bit more, but we did learn something from the experiment anyway, which is what I do hope to achieve. Sometimes if they don't quite work as you hope, and they don't quite have as much competition and a competitive edge between the two teams, hopefully we learn something, and I feel we've all learned something about ambition today. Let me know if you would have done anything differently in the comments down below, or any ideas that you've got of things that you'd like to see in terms of Versus or other experiments in general. If you want to get your hands on these files, head on over to the Jatreon and become a fully fledged squad member. Other than that, I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Take good care of yourselves, gang. Subscribe to the channel. Stay on the channel and have a binge of this video, which is best for you. Take care. I'll see you soon.